Ladies and gentlemen, we do have some bad news and good news when it comes to Barcelona's right back position. I think that it is going to be 100% going through, that Joao Cancelo will be a Barcelona player. It will happen. Barcelona will announce his signing within these next couple of days, but Barcelona would not be able to sign the other right back that they wanted to sign, which was Ivan Fresneda. And Relevo has stated this, and I quote, "The coach's preference in signing Joao Cancelo and the economic situation mean that Barcelona have ruled out Ivan Fresneda despite having good reports and an agreement with him. He has other offers from England and also from Portugal." Now, we have already said before that with Ivan Fresneda, he had so many options on the table. Yes, he wanted Barcelona, but it doesn't seem like Mateo Lemán and Joan Laporta are going to be able to do just enough to bring Ivan Fresneda in and on time before the transfer window does close. Yes, it is true. They have made Joao Cancelo as the priority for the club, but because now that Xavi has his right back, the next step Barcelona want to go to is by reinforcing other positions before they even think about signing another right back reinforcement. And by then, the club does feel like it will be too late and they will not be able to materialize the signing of Ivan Fresneda. So the option of signing the player, it is completely ruled out. Do I believe that this is the last time we will hear about Ivan Fresneda? No, I don't think so. I think that in about 4 to 5 months, when the January transfer window does come in, we could possibly hear the rumors of Ivan Fresneda resurfacing to the media. Marca has also stated that Koundé, Araujo, and Sergi Roberto will be the alternatives to Cancelo at the right back position. So we all know that Barcelona do have various options to reinforce the right back position right now, excluding Cancelo. We can use Koundé, we can use Araujo, we can use Sergi Roberto, but none of them are true definitive right backs. And I think that one of the main reasons on why Xavi Hernandez wants Cancelo, and I said this multiple times, is because he is planning on using Cancelo as a pivot and being paired with Frenkie de Jong. It is exactly what Cancelo did back at Manchester City back in 2021 under Pep Guardiola. Cancelo knows how to play in the double pivot position, and now I would love to see something like that, because I just think that with Cancelo and Frenkie being paired, we no longer have to use a false left winger or a false right winger anymore, and we can use our wingers. We have a lot of talent on our wings, like Abde, Ansu, Lamine Yamal, and also Rafinha, and we want to see that happen to the squad. It's also going to benefit players like Lewandowski, a player that does not receive a lot of service from his wingers, but when he does, unfortunately, he ends up failing. But in the end, it's going to hugely benefit the club. I can't wait to see a midfield of Cancelo, Frenkie, Pedri, and Gundogan. It just makes Barcelona look much more dynamic. It's very exciting stuff. So now let's move on towards the next topic, and I do want to speak about Celso, because remember how I did say that Barcelona are now taking that next step. They know that they have completed the signing of Joao Cancelo, and they want to reinforce other positions. And remember, Barcelona wanted to reinforce their creativity in the middle. They want players who can be very dangerous between the lines, like how we see Pedri and Gavi perform against Cadiz. Xavi does need another one, and they're eyeing a player like Celso. Gerard Romero has reported this, and I quote, "There have been contacts between Barcelona and Celso's entourage in the last few days. The operation will be blocked unless there are some departures." We have other sources claiming that after finalizing the deal of Joao Cancelo, Celso is the focus, and Barcelona is only thinking about doing a loan deal with a purchase option of 25 to 30 million euros, including bonuses and commissions. Celso would also like to leave Tottenham, and we have heard other sources claiming that the CEO of Tottenham wants to let go of Celso. And so we can see the consistency going on in this club and how they're handling many of these transfers. They want to do a loan deal with a purchase option by next year. So it's basically another way of saying Barcelona want to see if this player is going to work out at the club, and if he doesn't, they'll just say we're not going to be paying the optional fee to permanently sign the player. So currently the club is working on letting go of 3 specific players to invite new players in, which is Dest, Lenglet, and Marcos Alonso. Serginho Dest has already left to PSV, which is good news. As for Lenglet, there has been talks about him going to Al Nassr, but Lenglet does not want to go to Saudi Arabia yet, and that is why we are hearing today that Barcelona is negotiating with Tottenham on moving Lenglet back to that club on a loan move. As for Marcos Alonso, it's really going to be depending on how Xavi does view Alonso, and the reason why he has been forgotten is because the competition in our defensive line, it is just so great. If anything, Barcelona is now known for having a great defense over having a great attack, which hasn't been said in so long, because we have high performing players like Balde, Koundé, Araujo, Christensen, Oriol Romeo, who also does play as a center back sometimes, even with Frenkie de Jong. That is why many of us have forgotten about Marcos Alonso. And so like I've said, it's really going to be depending on how Xavi does view him. If he sees Marcos Alonso as a left center back option with Alejandro Balde right next to him, then I don't see Marcos Alonso lasting through this transfer window, because we're talking about a position that does include Inigo Martinez, who can be there, Eric Garcia can also be there, Araujo can also be there, Christensen can also be there. There's just no room for Marcos Alonso. Alonso. He's literally fifth option in the left center back position. Now, if Xavi does view him as a full-time left back, then yes, he has a greater chance of staying because he's going to be saying, hey, look, you do have a chance. You could be a backup to Alejandro Balde and you can have some minutes. But even then, right, like with Cancelo coming in, he also knows how to play as a left back. So I think that Marcos Alonso would be the third option on that left side. So it's really hard for us to see Marcos Alonso having a true definitive spot in this club. So Marcos Alonso will definitely be leaving. And with Lenglet earning 12 million euros gross a year, and with Serginho Dest also earning 6 million euros a year, Alonso earning 6.2 million euros a year, combined with these three players, Barcelona have to pay 24.2 million euros. So yes, I think you can see why Joan Laporta is working hard, right? Mateo Lemon is working hard to let go of the three players because it would reduce our wage bill massively. And let's just say worst case scenario happens and we have Lenglet go on loan, Alonso also go on loan, and Dest being sold. We would still save 15 million euros in wages because of these exits. So it would be huge. And now let's move on towards Abde. It does say here, according to Jared Romero, and I quote, a club from Italy is ready to pay 20 million euros for Abde. Now, I think that if Abde ever does leave this summer, it is purely because of a economical reason. Only because of that. I don't see this club saying, yeah, Abde sportingly does not fit at this club. That's pure BS. That is, I would never believe that. If we looked at how Abde performed against Cadiz, he was electric. He almost scored a goal when he shot from outside the box on the left side, curled the ball into the top left corner, but unfortunately the goalkeeper had to stop that and blocked it, and Abde couldn't get his goal. But you can see that Abde is so daring in the final thirds, just so on fire. And so with these runs that he makes with the ball and the shots that he does accumulate, we cannot let go of Abde. Like, how many of the players that we currently have right now besides Abde have the balls to shoot from outside just like that? So even though we are seeing a good economical offer from another club, maybe it could be Inter Milan or AC Milan, I don't think that Barcelona is going to be accepting it. Xavi Hernandez has already told Joan Laporta that Abde should not be sold and he wants to keep Abde. As a matter of fact, about 2 or 3 weeks ago during the US tour, it was said that Barcelona have already rejected 2 important offers for Abde. So don't worry about him being sold. It's not going to happen. He will continue to be a Barcelona player, and let's just see what he does in this upcoming season. I think that Abde is going to truly blossom once we do get into our tournaments, because that is where Abde does show up the most. He did that with Osasuna, and I think that he can carry the exact same thing with Barcelona. Let's see what he does during the Copa del Rey and also the Champions League. So that is going to be wrapping up today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.